Have you ever noticed this strange truth? Some people love noise. They love parties, busy streets, shopping malls, and loud gatherings. But there are others who feel tired just by thinking about these places. Crowds drain their energy, noise hurts their mind, too many faces confuse them, and too many voices feel heavy on their heart. If you are one of these people, let me tell you something important at the very beginning. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, the world's deepest thinkers, strongest minds, and most powerful creators often hated crowds. This video is not about fear, and it is not about weakness. This video is about how your mind works and how to turn that unique nature into your greatest strength. So stay with English Achieve until the end, because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you see yourself. Understanding the crowd-hating mind. People who hate crowds are often misunderstood by the world around them. When they choose quiet instead of noise, people quickly judge them. Others say they are shy, antisocial, rude, or closed-minded. Some even tell them that they should be more open, more social, or more like everyone else. But these labels are shallow, and they miss the deeper truth. Psychology tells a very different story. People who avoid crowded places are not weak or broken. In many cases, they are highly sensitive individuals. This sensitivity is not a problem. It is simply a different way the brain works. High sensitivity means their mind is always active. They notice small details that others completely miss. A change in tone, a strange look, a sudden movement. These things do not escape their attention. They feel emotions deeply, not only their own emotions, but also the emotions of people around them. Happiness, tension, anger, excitement. All of it enters their mind at the same time. They also process information more strongly. Their brain does not filter out noise easily, so every sound, every voice, and every movement demands attention. In noisy environments, their brain works harder than most people realize. To them, a crowd is not just a group of people standing together. A crowd is noise, movement, emotion, energy, and pressure happening all at once. Their brain does not ignore this chaos. Instead, it absorbs everything like a sponge. Conversations overlap, footsteps echo, faces pass by, and emotions mix together. The mind keeps working, scanning, understanding, and reacting. After some time, this constant processing becomes exhausting. When the brain absorbs too much stimulation, it becomes tired, heavy, and overwhelmed. This tiredness is not laziness. It is a natural response of a mind that feels deeply and thinks intensely. Understanding this truth is the first step towards self-respect and inner strength. Crowds overload the mind. Imagine your mind is like a glass slowly filling with water. For some people, this glass is small, and it fills very quickly. For others, the glass is large, and it can hold much more before it becomes full. People who hate crowds often have very full glasses, even before they enter a busy place. Their mind is already active, already thinking, already feeling. When they step into a crowd, every sound adds more water to the glass. Every face they see adds more water. Every movement around them adds more water. The mind keeps filling without rest. At first, this feels manageable. The person may try to stay calm, breathe deeply, and ignore the noise. But the glass keeps filling. Voices overlap, footsteps echo, lights flash, and emotions mix together. The brain works harder and harder to understand everything at the same time. Slowly, the glass reaches the top. One more sound, one more movement, one more moment, and the glass overflows. When the mind overflows, the body reacts. This overflow can feel like anxiety that appears without warning. The heart beats faster, breathing becomes shallow, and the chest feels tight. It can feel like a headache that slowly grows stronger, or a sudden wave of anger that has no clear reason. Confusion may follow, making it hard to think clearly or focus on simple tasks. Often, there is a strong and urgent need to escape, to leave the place, and to find quiet as quickly as possible. This reaction can feel embarrassing, but it is not a choice. This is not drama, and it is not weakness. This is biology. The nervous system of highly sensitive people reacts strongly to overstimulation. Their brain is not failing them. It is protecting them. It sends signals that say, "This is too much. We need rest." Understanding this can remove shame and self-blame. When you realize that your mind is simply responding to overload, you stop fighting yourself. Instead, you learn to respect your limits, protect your energy, and choose environments that allow your mind to stay clear, balanced, and strong. Why silence feels safe. Crowd-hating people love quiet places, but not because they are lonely or broken inside. They do not run away from people. They run toward balance. Silence gives their mind space to breathe. In a quiet environment, their brain finally slows down. There is no pressure to listen to many voices at once, no need to read many faces, and no demand to react quickly. The mind feels safe because it is no longer under attack from noise and movement. Silence acts like a soft shelter where the brain can rest. In silence, thoughts become clear. Ideas that were confused in noisy places slowly organize themselves. The mind can think one thought at a time instead of many thoughts all at once. Emotions also begin to settle down. Anxiety softens, irritation fades, and the body relaxes. The heart rate slows, breathing becomes deeper, and tension leaves the muscles. As the mind calms, energy returns. What was lost in crowds is slowly restored in quiet moments. Focus increases because attention is no longer divided. The person can read, think, write, or simply exist without pressure. For crowd-hating people, silence is not empty. Silence is full of clarity, meaning, and inner strength. It is a place where they can hear their own thoughts without interruption. That is why they often enjoy early mornings, when the world is still asleep and the air feels clean. They feel comfortable in empty rooms where nothing demands their attention. Long walks alone help them process thoughts and emotions at a natural pace. Quiet cafes feel safe because they offer presence without pressure. Late-night thinking becomes a sacred time, when creativity flows freely and the mind explores deeper questions. This is where their power lives. In silence, they recharge, reflect, and reconnect with themselves. What looks like withdrawal to others is actually preparation. When they return to the world, they return stronger, clearer, and more grounded. Silence is not an escape for them. It is a source of strength. Crowds and control. Crowds remove control, and for many people, this loss of control creates deep discomfort. In crowded places, you cannot control the noise around you. Sounds come from every direction at the same time. You cannot control movement, because people are always walking, stopping, pushing, and changing direction. You cannot control conversations, because voices overlap and enter your ears whether you want them or not. You also cannot control space. Personal space becomes small, and the body feels surrounded. For people who hate crowds, this constant lack of control feels exhausting. People who avoid crowds usually value control over their inner world. This does not mean they want to control other people. It means they want to protect their thoughts, emotions, and energy. They feel strongest when they can choose where to be, choosing places that feel calm and safe. They feel comfortable when they can choose who to talk to, allowing meaningful connection instead of forced interaction. They also feel balanced when they can choose how long to stay, leaving before their energy runs out. These small choices give them a sense of freedom and inner peace. Crowds take these choices away. In a crowded place, leaving may not be easy. Talking becomes unavoidable. Standing alone may feel uncomfortable or judged. The mind begins to feel trapped. When choice disappears, discomfort begins to grow. The body may react with tension, restlessness, or anxiety. The mind starts searching for an exit, not because of fear, but because it needs control back. This reaction is natural and protective. Understanding this helps remove self-blame. Crowd-hating people are not weak or controlling personalities. They simply function best when they have autonomy over their inner space. When they honor this need, they become calmer, more confident, and more focused. Control over the inner world allows them to think clearly, feel deeply, and act with purpose. Instead of forcing themselves into overwhelming situations, they grow stronger by choosing environments that respect their nature. Not fear, but awareness. Many people confuse discomfort in crowds with fear, but these two experiences are very different. Fear says, "I am in danger." It prepares the body to fight or run away. Crowd discomfort says something else. It says, "I am overwhelmed." There is no threat, no enemy, and no real danger. The mind is simply receiving too much information at the same time. Understanding this difference is important because it removes unnecessary shame and confusion. People who hate crowds are often more aware, not more afraid. Their awareness works like a sensitive radar. They notice things that others ignore. They sense fake smiles that hide real feelings. They feel hidden tension in the air, even when people are laughing. Small emotional shifts, such as sudden irritation or nervousness, enter their mind quickly. They also feel strong social pressure. The pressure to act normal, to smile, to respond, and to fit in. All of this happens without effort. Their brain automatically observes and understands these signals. This constant awareness means their brain is always scanning the environment. It listens, watches, and feels at the same time. In a quiet place, this scanning is gentle and manageable. But in a crowd, scanning becomes intense. The brain tries to understand many people, many emotions, and many movements at once. This uses a large amount of mental energy. Over time, the energy level drops and the mind becomes tired. When energy is low, discomfort appears. The person may feel restless, irritated, or mentally foggy. They may want to leave, not because they are afraid, but because their awareness system needs rest. This reaction is natural and intelligent. The brain is protecting itself from overload. Once you understand this, everything changes. You stop calling yourself weak. You stop forcing yourself into situations that drain you. Instead, you learn to respect your awareness as a gift. When used wisely, this awareness allows deep understanding, empathy, and emotional intelligence. Crowd-hating people are not running away from life. They are simply listening to a mind that knows when it needs quiet. Why small groups feel better. Notice this important truth. People who hate crowds often love deep conversations. They feel comfortable in one-on-one talks, small groups, and moments of meaningful connection. This may seem confusing to others. People might ask, if you don't like crowds, why do you enjoy talking so much? The answer is simple. Depth feels safe, while surface-level noise feels exhausting. Small groups allow the mind to relax instead of staying alert and defensive. In large crowds, conversations are usually shallow and fast. People talk loudly, interrupt each other, and jump from topic to topic. There is little space to think, listen, or feel. For crowd-hating people, this creates mental fatigue. Their mind is forced to process noise instead of meaning. In contrast, small groups create emotional space. There is time to listen carefully, respond honestly, and feel understood. The mind slows down, and the heart opens. One-on-one conversations are especially powerful for them. When only one person is present, the pressure disappears. There is no need to perform, compete for attention, or pretend to be someone else. The focus stays on connection, not appearance. This allows real thoughts and real emotions to come forward. Small groups offer a similar feeling. They provide connection without chaos, presence without pressure. People who hate crowds do not want more people in their life. They want real people. They want honesty instead of small talk. They want meaning instead of noise. This is why they may have fewer friends, but stronger relationships. They choose quality over quantity. Their friendships are built on understanding, trust, and shared depth. This preference is not a weakness. It is a sign of emotional intelligence. It shows an ability to value connection over attention. In a world that celebrates loudness and popularity, choosing depth is an act of quiet strength. When these people connect deeply, they feel energized instead of drained. Small groups allow them to be fully present, fully human, and fully themselves. The lie society tells you. Society sends us the same message again and again. It tells us to be loud, to be social, to be everywhere, and to always be visible. From social media to public spaces, noise is celebrated. People who speak the most are noticed first. People who show their life openly are praised. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, and privacy is seen as something strange. This message slowly enters the mind, especially for people who prefer quiet. Over time, they may start to doubt themselves, but society forgets something very important. Depth creates greatness, not noise. True strength does not come from being seen everywhere. Real power does not come from talking all the time. The world was not changed by the loudest voices. It was changed by the clearest minds. History is full of people who worked quietly, thought deeply, and spoke only when their ideas were ready. Their impact lasted because it was built on understanding, not attention. Noise creates reaction. Depth creates direction. Loudness may attract eyes, but clarity moves the world forward. When society pushes everyone to be the same, quiet people feel pressure to change. They may try to become louder, more social, or more visible, even when it drains them. This leads to exhaustion, anxiety, and self-doubt. They forget their natural strengths and try to live a life that does not fit their mind. Choosing depth in a noisy world is not easy. It requires courage to stay quiet when everyone is shouting. It requires confidence to think slowly when others rush. But this choice builds inner strength. Deep thinkers ask better questions. They see patterns others miss. They create ideas that last longer than trends. While loud voices fade, Clear minds leave a permanent mark. If you are someone who prefers silence, remember this. You are not behind. You are not invisible. You are preparing. Society may celebrate noise, but the future belongs to those who understand, not those who shout. When you honor depth, you honor your true power.